So, recently we've had the release of the latest IDOLM STER mobile game, Million Live Theatre Days, and with that, we only need one more franchise to round up the trio for IDOLM STER, SideM. And with Live on Stage coming around the corner, I thought it would be a great time to introduce and brief everyone on the boys and men of the franchise. This video is going to be a lot like the basics video I did for the Million Live franchise, so if you haven't seen that, go and check that out, because pretty girls. But we're here today for pretty boys and men. I'm going to run through a brief of the overall premise, all the characters, and some of my favourites within the franchise, so without further ado, SideM. SideM takes place a little further on than the main series IDOLM STER games, with a new up-and-coming production company called Psycho Pro. Yep, another number pun. Thanks, Japan. Sagi Pro produces idols a little differently compared to Namiko and Mitsubishi Pro, because they're mainly pumping out idols as stable units rather than as solo individuals, a little like Ensemble Stars. There's a manga, illegally, online where you can catch up and see the point of view of our gender-ambiguous producer in the journey of wringing out the talent of our main three protagonists. Who are they? Well, as cheesy a transition as it sounds, time for the next section. There are 15 units in total, spanning over 46 characters, making SideM the smallest of all three of the franchises. Despite this, every unit carries its own theme and musical genre that's unique and always pleasant to listen to, which is thanks to these characters. Dramatic Stars, the main character unit with your typical rock, paper, scissors dynamic of characters. This unit was brought together through their unique motivations after leaving their unique and dynamic jobs. Teru, an ex-lawyer who grew up wanting to be a superhero, but he got fired for running away from a case and client. Kaoru, an ex-surgeon who's fairly cold and stoic. He works to find a cure for the disease that took his older sister. Tsubasa, an ex-pilot who became an idol after getting fired for making a mistake during flight, hoping to never do the same again. Jupiter, the veteran unit you've probably seen before. They debuted in the Idolmaster 2 for PS3, but after the events in the game, they've come under the production of Psycho Pro and rebranded themselves. Toma, a fairly rowdy teenager who only wants the best for his unit and his career, making a path for himself in life. Hokuto, the playboy of the unit. Hokuto began modelling after having to quit piano. He says ciao a lot. He isn't Italian. Shota, the mischievous member who's the little devil character of the bunch. A lot of people compare him to Iori from Idolmaster. Bite, a unit that was brought together through having part-time jobs. Japanese for part-time job is baito. Do you get it now? I'm glad we got that covered. Kyoji, a heterochromatic store clerk who abandoned his family's wealth to earn his own way. The local Lawson's is a start, I guess. Pierre, a literal prince, who works as an amusement park mascot. I don't know either. A gullible kid who's just interested in what life can give him. Me-Dori, a fairly ecstatic florist who sides as an idol otaku. Time to get depressing. His parents died when he was younger, leaving him with his uncle. A gang killed that uncle, and Me-Dori was left with all his idol memorabilia, much to his surprise. Me-Dori was also a delinquent and can threaten people really easily. He's a special kind of guy. Hijoka, a high school light music club. They got scouted as a group. The rest is pretty much history. Shiki, the vocalist who loves his club members so much that to prevent breaking up after graduation, he turned the club into an idol group with Psycho Pro's help. Hayato, the guitarist and leader of Hijoka. He's passionate as hell and cries when he's happy. Aww, precious. June, the guitar player and lyricist for the band. The overall straight man of the unit who's passionate about music and new to opening up opportunities for himself. Natsuki, the bassist and childhood friend of June. He's fairly shy and sticks to his best friend. He speaks softly and slowly and he's just a good boy. Can you tell he might be my favourite? Haruna, the drummer and oldest member of the group, held back 2 years. Even though he's not an academic genius, he's got a large skill set that everyone envies. Double, your typical twin unit who's themed around sports and a little bit of footy. Yusuke, the older twin who's mischievous and tends to act out of impulse. He had to quit professional football because he broke his knee. Kyosuke, the younger twin who's usually clad in specs. The more analytical of the two who feels responsible for his brother's injury. S.E.M, a trio of teachers who love their job so much. They share a similar dynamic to Dramatic Stars, but they're a lot more mellowed down. Rui, an English teacher who's just the peppiest little guy around. He's also the youngest of the three teachers, being only 23, but aspires for the best for all his students. Michio, a serious maths teacher who takes his job very seriously, regardless of the task. After seeing Jupiter perform in front of the students, he too wanted to grab their attention like they did. He's also the oldest character in SideM, being 32. Jiro, a lazy chemistry teacher who joined Michio's plan after hearing about how much money he'd be making. He's not the best at taking care of himself, but he scrubs up very nicely. He's also got the same voice actor as Tetora from Ensemble Stars. Here's a quick comparison.
奇遇っすね。俺もリーダーに呼ばれてダンスルームに向かってる途中なんすよ。
Sai, a traditionally Japanese unit brought together by their professions. Shoma, a kabuki actor who's more in touch with his feminine side. This is because in kabuki, male actors play female roles. And he also aims for peak performance. Kiryo, a rakugo storyteller who speaks with the typical nyan trope despite being intelligent. It's annoying and no one knows how his hair works. Kuro, a reserved tea ceremony preparer who just wants to share the beauty of the ceremony with the world. He's scared of ghosts. Frame, a unit consisting of civil servants who put aside their duties in search of a new way to help the public. Hideo, a policeman who's self-conscious of his naturally menacing expression. A sweetheart who became an idol to help children when times get tough. Ryu, an ex-fireman who left his station because of his overly clumsy nature. However, he's passionate about the safety of people. Seiji, a former Japanese self-defense force member who keeps his past vague, but pushes forward wanting to make everyone smile. Also a very, very manly man. Shinsoku Ikon, a duo of ex-delinquents looking to show the world their flaming performances. They're based on the 4 symbols of Chinese mythology. Suzaku, a young man passionate about ridding the world of evil with his feline partner, Nyako. Genbu, a calm and cool man who wants to use his intelligence in order to bring peace into the world. As an orphan, he read lots of complex books. Cafe Parade, a quintet of waiters led in a journey to spread the world of cafes. That's all. It's a really pure unit. Yukihiro, he's a passionate traveller who runs Cafe Parade so he can spread his happiness. Even though he's only 21, he's accomplished a lot in terms of cafe know-how because of his travels. Soichiro, a polite young man who specializes in Japanese pastries. Knowing Yukihiro since high school, it has allowed him opportunities to expand his pastry palette. And no, he's not blind. He's like Pokemon's Brock. Asalan, a 26-year-old, 5,174 Mayan calendar years old Chunibyo, who's a simple chef. Wanting more out of his life, he accepted Yukihiro's offer to be his chef. This little guy on his shoulders called Satan, and it is adorable. Makio, a young man who has a devilish sweet tooth, with a particular love for cake. His mother used to make all sorts before passing. Saki, let's get this out of the way first. In English, Saki would use the pronoun he. He doesn't believe gender should restrict him from what he likes, hence why he cross-dresses, not that his gender is necessarily mistaken. Anyway, Saki is a cross-dressing maid waiter who loves anything and everything cute and stylish. He's a precious boy. He's so precious. He's precious. Altissimo, a duo of former classical musicians who wish to spread their genre. Rei, a young violinist who is particularly skeptical and socially awkward, not making taking most of the organization for his unit any easier. Kei, a half-German pianist who's fairly forgetful, even ceasing to remember his own birthday and age. He became an idol out of boredom and inspiration after hearing Rei sing. The Kogoro, a passionate trio of fighters seeking to reach the top. Takeru, a stern boxer who wishes to find his estranged siblings through being an idol. He gets flustered by romance and irritated by Ren, a snarky and egotistical martial artist who doesn't have the best history with Takeru. He accidentally punched Ren in the street. However, he can be considerate when the time needs it. Michiru, an ex-judo fighter turned ramen shop employee. An injury stopped him from fighting and has led him to becoming the ramen-loving domestic street man in the trio. Also a very, very manly man. Mofu Mofuen, an experienced trio of child stars uniting to show their Kigurumi idol powers. Ooh, scary. Now, the leader of a popular children's program despite being fairly shy, who's close to graduating from the role. However, his mother sought the production of Psycho Pro to prevent his leave from entertainment. He is not very happy about this. Shiro, another cast member from the same children's program who is always cast in Nao's shadow, an eager little boy who's ready to take charge as leader someday. Kanon, a child model for his father, who after learning he might not be able to model the same cute outfits forever, is taken up by the producer, promising all the cute clothes he could ever want, and that is adorable. Flags, a trio united by their leader's influence and inspiration. Ryo, another character you might have seen from past Idol Master games. He used to cross-dress from his debut in Daily Stars, but since has moved on to his male idol career at Psycho Pro. He's the cousin of Ritsuko Akizuki from the main cast, as well as the inspiration for Saki's own cross-dressing career. Daigo, a Yakuza heir who was intrigued by Ryo after hearing about his change in path. He's a goofy kid who just wants a little excitement in life outside of his upbringing. Kazuki, a young author who sought his new career after wanting to cast his true self onto the world. He writes notes all the time in order to get a better outlook on things. And finally, Legenders, a trio inspired by historical figures, looking to broaden their insight and lifestyles. Sora, a young man with an artistic demeanor. Though he is rather laid back and dribbles his sentences, he is well respected by his unit members. He works at a convenience store. Amehiko, a garbage man who is believed to have spiritual powers raining through his family's bloodline, who considers negative emotions filth and wishes to cleanse the world of them. Get it? Taking out the... Yep. His song's literally called Sweep Your Gloom. Finally, Chris, an oceanographer hailing from Spain. He's obsessed with the ocean and wants to spread the wonders of it. Also a surprisingly manly man. And that's Psycho Pro. All of them. And with the release of the new game, I can't see them adding any more. Please don't add any more. That'd make this video dated. This part's pretty much going to be an analysis of the third PV for Live on Stage, where I look at some of the mechanics we can expect from the game in comparison to how Deresute and Theatre Days work. The first thing I want to talk about is this main screen UI. Here it shows fairly self-explanatory things, but the most important are these at the end: Psycho Live, Gacha Scout, and Produce. Psycho Live will be the rhythm game, reminiscent of past Idol Master console games, where you tap a singular button instead of a broad beat map in order to play the song. This will probably incorporate more circles on harder difficulties, with the MV playing in the background in either 3D or 2D styles. The 2D isn't confirmed at this point in recording, so don't quote me on that if it's not in the future. I'm sorry, I'm not a time traveler. I'm not the Doctor. The only thing I want to talk about with Gacha Scout is how the cards work. N, R, SR, and a confirmed higher rarity, probably SSR. These cards are sorted by physical, intelligence, and mental attributes, like you saw with the boys before, and each card has a unique vocal, dance, and visual stat. Finally, Produce. This feature seems to be the main way of raising your idols, where you put your idols to work and just watch them go. Look at those chibis go. It looks like if you use the right combinations or just repeatedly bond over two characters enough, you unlock a bond bonus of sorts when you level up over time, which can activate a performance skill during lives. Another important thing I want to talk about is lessons. Where in the other Idol Master games you use tickets or dupes to raise your level, in Live on Stage they adopt the node system from Ensemble Stars instead. Here you can see N Amehiko's node chart, where some are even locked until the card changes. In the same clip you can see these guys raising their vocal stats specifically. Oh yeah, and outfits are a thing? I love them. So, time to go through some of my favourites from the series, because you don't care, but I do. Here are all of my song recommendations. Dramatic Non-Fiction by Dramatic Stars, Joker Almighty by High Joker, Sayonara Summer Holiday by S.E.M, Legacy of Spirit by Legenders, Yukan Naru Kinie by Frame, Cafe Parade by Cafe Parade, Burning Cool de Kagayaite by Shinsok Ikon, Yume no Voyager by Flags, Starlight Celebrate by Dramatic Stars, Tsuyoku Totoki Kemonotachi by The Kogoro, Omoi wa Eternity by Bite, Moonlight no Sei ni Shite by Dramatic Stars. Yes, I love every Dramatic Stars song, leave me alone. The First Star by Teru, Gold number 79 by Jiro, Flying Hawk by Kyoji, Saiko Count Up by Shiki, Because by Kaoru, Ifu Dodoto by Genbu, Sweep Your Gloom by Amahiko, and finally, Beyond the Dream by Psycho Pro. The most important part to me, my favorites. And though none will ever rival my dedication to Midori Takamine, these are some very good boys. Number 10, Daigo. Number 9, Hideo. Number 8, Kazuki. Number 7, 6, and 5. All of Dramatic Stars, Tsubasa, Kaoru, and Teru. Number 4, Michio. Number 3, Kyoji. Number 2, Natsuki. And number 1, Yukihiro. I just love him so much. He's such a good boy. I like him. So yeah, that's SideM, and my hype for this new game has me exhausted now. I'm gonna go and get some tea, listen to the new Ryu Seitai and Night singles again, and wait patiently for the SideM anime to drop in October. Psycho, everyone. Psycho.